Okay, we've got the tire off. We've got a small pinhole in the tube right there. We don't see anything. It would have been in this area here, but we don't see anything that punctured the tire. Maybe just something inside that ruptured it. We don't know. So we're going to try to put this back on as a tubeless tire. We're going to clean up the rim and try to get it on as a tubeless tire and see if that will hold it. Not sure that we've got that tire fixed. So after the man left, I did a, what did I do? We were standing there talking. Oh, and one of my operators, he was standing there with me, and he looked down at that tire. He said, that tire looks like it's a little low. So I put a gauge on it. Well, we had pumped it to 25 initially. It was down to 18. So I sprayed some more Windex around the rim. We saw a little bit of bubbling. So I pumped it back up to 30, ran it around the farm, thinking, you know, just riding it around, it might help seat that tire on that rim. Brought it back in, and we still got a little bit of bubbling. Pumped it up to 35, hit the tire in the rim with the hammer, trying to get that bubbling to go away. We got some of it to go away, but not all of it. So we left there. We had to go get the tractors over at the Navy base. I wanted to bring those home because we have got a chance of snow tomorrow. So I wanted to get those off of the base and get them back to the shop in case we were called out tomorrow. And by the time we got back to the shop, we went from 35 to 20. You know, we had a tube in there. The tube had a small pinhole in it, and the guy that came down to change it said he'd rather put it on tubeless, and I agreed with him. The rim looked okay. Maybe that's a mistake. So I do have some liquid tube. I don't know if I've got enough in that container. It would take about 2 gallons of liquid tube to put in there, but I don't know how well that will work going around that rim. I guess we won't know until we try it. I got a call from my fertilizer dealer. He said, we just got some more urea in. Do you need any? I said, let me call the store first. So this morning on our regular order, we did get 250 bags of water softener pellets. We already had a landscaping company that had ordered 200 bags of it, and we had 50 bags for ourselves. So I called my daughter at the store. I said, how's it going? Do we need any more? She said, well, we've sold 60 out of 80 bags of the urea we had yesterday. She said, we're selling the water softener salt, but she said the landscaper said he would take whatever we could get. So I called my fertilizer dealer back and I said, what have you got left of urea? And he said, we're down to 2 pallets. Oh, okay, I'll take those. So I've hooked my gooseneck trailer onto the truck, and I'm headed up to get those 2 pallets of urea. And we'll move them either ourselves through the store or sell them to the landscaper. Here it is, Friday at 2:17. This is 5 days after the end of the storm, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, 5 days after the end of the storm, and we're still moving through this ice melting stuff. Well, it's only 25 degrees today. When I left the shop, it was only 23. And it's 2 o'clock, 2:15, so that temperature isn't going any higher. It's going to start dropping again. Chance of snow again tomorrow. People are still trying to dig out of their driveways, but it is just solid ice, and they are struggling with that ice. The landscaper, I talked to him, he said he was hoping to have a load of salt by the middle of next week, or some type of ice melter. So he's going to take what I can get him right now, and he said, I'll call you next week. My fertilizer dealer said he would have some more urea in on Monday, he thought. So we'll exchange something, go back and forth between the landscaper and myself to move this stuff around and get everybody happy. I'm about 5 minutes from the store. Got a text from my daughter. I think we're down to about 5 bags of urea and water softener between the two. So I've got the more urea on the trailer with me, so it looks like I will be just in time. This has just been a crazy week, so I will need an adult beverage tonight at the door. It is Friday night. It is almost 4:30 right now, so I'm going to get this down to the hardware store and get it unloaded. I think I'm headed home. I stopped on my way to get this urea. I did stop and pick up another 5-gallon bucket of liquid tube. So the tire guy called me and said, give that liquid tube a try. He said you may have to pump it up a couple times and really run it around, because how that liquid tube works is you put it in the tire, then you got to run that tire quite a bit in order for that stuff to work itself and spin itself around that tire and get into all the nooks and crannies and cracks and crevices. So he said the representative, the liquid tube representative, told him, you know, when you're trying to seat a bead like that, where it's leaking out of the bead, you may end up pumping that tire up a couple of times and just keep running it. And eventually that stuff will go into that bead and seal it up. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Put that liquid tube in there and run it around the farm, run it to the end of the road and back. And hopefully that solves my problem with that. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Wow, look at how low this tide is out here. Oh my God, brr, you can hear that wind blowing. It's about 17 degrees this morning. Oh my God, look at how low it is. Wow. I'm sure it's hard enough to walk on, but it's too damn cold for me to be out here, so I'm not going to do that. This tire was flat this morning when I walked in, but I expected that because we've got some leaks around the bead. I think it was one place here. Let me get my Windex, see if it is still leaking there. Right there, right there. And then on the inside, we had it. You're not going to be able to see it here. We had one spot down here on the inside that was pretty bad. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some liquid tube in it. I got another pail yesterday. That's the pail I've had, but that's not going to be enough. It calls for 278 ounces. So what's that? 2 gallons in a piece, 2 gallons in a pint, roughly. So I don't think I quite had 2 gallons left in this bucket. So just to make sure, I got another bucket yesterday. This stuff isn't cheap, $364. But if it seals this rim up, then I'm okay with that. Here's where it's bubbling right here. Just ever so slightly. But that's enough to cause it to go flat. Yeah, right here is where it's starting. And we've hit on the tire, we've hit on the rim. It helped it some, but not enough. So I've got to get this valve stem turned around to about the 7 o'clock position. And it's at like the 1 o'clock position right now, and I don't have enough room to back up here. So I don't have enough room to pull ahead either. Oh man, what am I gonna do? I guess I'm gonna have to open the door, spin it around a couple times, back in here again, and hope it's in the right position. I'm putting 10 ounces with each pump here. I'm up to 220 ounces. I've got to put 280 in there. I drew air that time, and I still got about 10 ounces left. So I got to go to the new bucket. I think I'm empty on this bucket. Okay, that should be all that I need. Now we got to put the valve stem 4 back in. I'm going to air this up to about 30 pounds now. I've got this tire aired up to about 30 psi. So in order for this stuff to work, this liquid tube, now I gotta, spin this tire around. It's gotta blow all of that liquid all around the tire. It looks for the cracks, it looks for the leaks, and it goes to those leaks and it seals it. So I'm gonna take this tractor out on the road and run it for a little bit, and I'll bring it back in here, park it, set the blocks under it. Let's see what happens with it overnight. It's a little bit late now, isn't it? But I've put my cold weather cover on the front of my truck, finally. It should have been done last week, but I just never got around to it. But I have today. Well, I've got this tractor parked back in here. We're sitting at about 24 pounds of pressure. I'll come back to it tomorrow, see what we've got. The man told me I may have to pump it up a couple times and just keep running it in order for that stuff to sling all the way around that tire and find the holes. So let's hope that this is going to fix it, because we've got to be out on the airfield at noon on Monday.
Occasional snow leading to an accumulation of 1 to 2 inches. This snow may create slippery roads and walkways, potentially causing travel delays. The low will be 13. Tomorrow will bring very windy conditions, remaining cloudy and very cold with a high of 26. Looking ahead to Monday, it will start off breezy in the morning, becoming mostly cloudy and cold later on with a high of 35. From AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
First in the northern neck with new country.
Well, I don't know if you heard all of that, but 1 to 2 inches of snow. That's in the northern neck of Virginia, which is right across the river from us. This is Saturday afternoon. We got the word about 2 hours ago from the county. They want us to go out at 6 o'clock tonight and load with salt, and then let's see how much snow we're going to get before we put that salt down. So 6 o'clock tonight with the county. Only the 2 pickup trucks are going out. They don't need tractors. 1 to 2 inches of snow, that's not a whole lot. So probably we'll put a little salt down. You know, I was going to take my wife out to dinner tonight, but I guess that's not happening. So this is the 3rd weekend in a row that we have been out for snow, salt, whatever. 3rd weekend in a row. As you can see, we never got anything washed this week. It did not get above 30 degrees. It's just plain cold this week. It is almost 1 o'clock, and it's only 19 degrees right now. So this truck is fueled up. We hope it's ready to go. We hope our electrical issue has been figured out. So let's hope, fingers crossed, because it's gonna be a cold night and we really don't wanna be out there dealing with this salt not coming out and having to get back there and shovel it. Look at this crap. I'm the last one in line here. So we got called out at 6 o'clock to come up here and load with salt. And then at 10 o'clock, they said, bring your salt back because it's not going to snow. Well, duh, I kind of knew that at 6 o'clock. So we now have a line of trucks here waiting to back into the salt barn and dump all of this salt. And these things don't dump quickly. When I had to shovel that load out of Farmer's daughter's truck the other day when her vibrator broke, it took me 20 minutes to empty that thing. So 20 minutes of truck times 100 trucks. You can get 2 trucks, maybe 3 trucks backed in the barn at one time. Yeah, we're gonna be here a while. They said they're paying us until midnight. I'm not sure we're gonna finish by midnight. This is a shit show here tonight. All of these trucks just backed up here, dumping salt. And there's still a line of trucks out here waiting. One guy said it took him about 14 minutes to dump his. Should have had the baffles open more so it would roll out of here faster. This truck is one of the guys in our group. Farmer's daughter is over there. That truck over there is one of the guys in our group. This truck over here is one of the guys in our group. 2 of the guys have already left. They got in here early. Okay. Put my stool back so I don't step off to nothing. Thank you. Right to that Yep. All right. Just like that. 10 minutes and we're out of here. Talk about vibrator overload. Did you get the feeling that there was a lot of vibration out there?
There was a lot of vibrations and a lot of sensations.
Were they good vibrations?
Good vibrations and good sensations.
It took us about 10 minutes. All right, 20 after midnight. What the hell? Well, that was some easy money. As long as I can get to my house without falling and busting my ass open. It is 1:45. So we got about 8 hours for going up and getting a load of salt, and then going back up and taking the load of salt off. But it's cold out here. All right, it's bedtime. I'm wrapping it up. I'm gonna say, see ya. See ya.